And we're back on Mimas. So first thing, I wanted to show you that we had our first harvest of mushrooms, all the way to the seeding stage. So let's grab those and replant them. I'm going to keep the seeds and just use the harvest to plant the next crop. And we're going to have one to spare as well. I do have to kind of keep my eye on the O2 levels in here so that they don't consume too much. Oh, and as always, I have a dead battery. Yeah, 80%, so we still have a while, but between the mushrooms and myself, we've already created 19.7 moles of CO2. Okay, long as I'm in here, and I closed it accidentally, let's top off our food and water. So I had my suit off while I was in here just to refresh the hygiene. That's why that's not bugging me. Let's go ahead and close our helmet, cycle out. And preserve power by switching that off. Yeah, mining drill is pretty low. Just in case I need a tool, I'm gonna replace the battery that I took. There we go. But I'm not going to put the battery in here because that will drain what little power we have in this battery out. So for now, let's put it over here. Okay, so I've done some mining, some more mining off screen. Keep up the pace. I'll still do a mining episode at some point in the future, but right now it's, pretty boring. Oh, power critical, that's not fun. I was lucky enough to find some coal, 70 worth. Pretty abysmal by coal standards, but yeah, they reduced the drop rate here on Mimas. Let's see. Yes, so I was saying that I'll do a mining episode at some point in the future, but I want to kind of get it out of the way, show you the first tier, which is, just your drill and your will to survive. And then I'll give us I'll print us off a ore scanner. That's going to help a lot. If we have time, I'll print off the higher tier ore scanner, but that one takes some heavier materials, so we'll have to see when we get that. I wanted to open the mining supplies. I'll kind of show you each of them here. But the main thing I want is the last one in there, which is the mining belt. So let's grab the first item. That's the flare gun. I'm sure it'll come as a huge surprise that the flare gun fires flares. So that's pretty handy. I imagine in multiplayer it's probably fantastic. Somebody's out mining and they're like, hey, how do I get back? You just fire a flare off. Sorry if this is really bright, I just want to come up here and show you. It actually has a little parachute on it. There we go. So I'm going to actually pull the flares out of there because I probably won't be using this. Like I say, it's probably far more useful in multiplayer. All right, next up we have mining charges. I'll go ahead and detonate those, but first let's get that mining belt out of there. There we go. So that we have, what is that, 8 extra slots. Oh, I had forgotten to file away the copper. Oh, I didn't have room. Never mind. Okay, well, two birds with one stone. We'll make use of that flare and get some resources with the mining charges. I haven't used these yet, so hopefully it's pretty easy. So disarm. Ah, okay, activate a... Ooh. So if we arm it, it says 10 seconds later it's going to explode. There it is, okay. Here, let's stop being a dumb here and use the mining drill. You don't even need it on um, to pick up ore. You can just mouse over them. Okay, so that's pretty neat. And more explosions. So if I'm guessing right here, we just right click and it drops it down armed. There we go. And I didn't even notice they count as a tool, so it went in the tool slot of the mining bag. Now personally, I don't prefer to mine this way. I just figured let's have fun since we got it. Okay, so we got one there. Drop one here. I'm gonna avoid the gold. If I remember correctly, you get less resources when you use the mining charges. So just in case, I'm not going for anything important. The volatiles and the silicon are fairly prevalent, whereas gold you need to worry about a little bit more. Ooh. I'm wondering if they changed the whole diminishing returns thing, because this certainly does seem like a lot. No available room in the mining slot. Oh, okay. I got mixed up which one was wet. Which? There we go. And yep, since I'm out and about, I want to every now and then recalibrate my direction, check my compass. So right now the base is at 74 degrees. Probably an obvious thing, but getting lost in this game is fairly easy, and I have a pretty good sense of direction too, so if I can get lost, it's bad. Okay, whoop, we're losing some oxide. They're starting to melt, I think. Come on. Doesn't seem to want to pick them up, so I'm turning it on here to kind of funnel them into one location. Oh, and one more. Oh. Alright, where was that other explosion we created? Is it this? Must be. Oh, boy, that's a lot of copper. Move this in the belt again. Well, I'm happy I did this. This is good. Shows an easy way of getting some fast resources. And let me turn the light on. Oh, I can't turn the light on because my battery's dead. Fantastic. Okay, yeah, so we still have some more here, but I'm just gonna leave it there because I want to get back. We'll get some power. Sorry, I'm gonna preserve a little bit here by turning off the light. It's fairly bright here, so should be able to see fine. Okay, so the Stirling engine, we had set that up last time. As you can see here, I just opened both valves and I let all the gas out. We had a little bit of a trickle come in, but nothing spectacular. And there goes the next, or there goes our sunlight. I thought I depleted the battery, but I forgot I turned it off. 10-second memory. Gotta love it. Okay, that one will keep us going for a little while. So, especially since we have power problems, let's do some more smelting. I'm going to turn these off. And it's a good thing darkness rolled around, because now we can split these off pretty easily without worry. I'm just going to get the ores ready. I'm not actually going to put them in just yet. So yeah, I'm gonna put 8 volatiles in there. Now typically the ratio is 2 to 1, but I'm actually going to put an extra oxide in there in the mix because I want it to be an oxygen-rich mixture. Get a little make use of as much of the volatiles as I can. But I suppose they both seem fairly prevalent. I probably don't even need to worry about it. So the first thing we're going to do is mix up some steel. So I'm going to use as much of the coal as I can for this. And so it's going to be a little weird because, you know, it's a 3 to 1 ratio. I suppose I should bring it up in the Stationpedia just so you can see. Oops, that's the wrong button. So you have the super alloys, which we're ways off from. You need the advanced furnace for all of those. But the regular alloys here, we can smelt. You've got Constantan, has high pressure, fairly high temperature, 1000 Kelvin. Takes copper and nickel. We don't have much nickel, so I'm not going to be able to do that one. And talking of other ones that we can't do, we're gonna, or not going to do, I should say. Invar is another one because that takes iron and once again nickel. This one's a higher temperature, 1.2 to 1.5. This one's a little abnormal because it has an actual temperature range rather than just like a minimum. Most of them have like a 100 kilokelvin, which is, if it's obtainable, it'd be pretty difficult. Also has a fairly specific temperature range, 18 to 20 megapascals. That's going to be a little tough for us to hit. I'm going to have to do some work, turning on valves or pumps or something to try and get that temperature and pressure range. Electrum is fairly easy. You can see it has like a fairly low low temperature, but it does have a range for the pressure. Little tough to get with the normal furnace, but we'll see what we can do on it eventually here. The electrum is why I've been saving the silver. All right, so this is our goal. Steel, 900 Kelvin, which is a bit warm, not really hot like you saw on Invar. But the pressure range is very generous, 1 megapascal minimum to 100 millipascals. And 100, you can't really get that because your furnace has probably already exploded a long time ago. Oh, I didn't go over solder. Solder is an annoying one to make. We haven't found any lead yet, so I don't have to worry about it. But yeah, it takes a very low temperature to smelt. And it requires a low temperature as well, 277 Celsius, which to us is hot, but to ingots, not so much. Pretty generous pressure range, and that one's iron and lead. But just to circle back, we're going for steel, a 3-to-1 ratio, iron to carbon, and coal qualifies as carbon. Eventually here, we might use some of our crops, turn them into biomass, and then smelt them, and that will actually turn it into charcoal, which we can use instead of coal. We'll have to see as we progress here. Yeah, it's a nice tip here that they tell you can do the oxide and volatiles to mix it in lieu of using using a gas mix. Okay, so we have 70 coal. Let me just bring up a calculator here quick, because I don't feel like doing the math in my head. I should have, though. That was super easy. 210 iron. So let's grab as much of this as we can. So that's 100, 200, sorry, 150. Oh, nope, it is 200 because I've got some in my hand. In this one, we're just going to break off 10 and then pull the rest in to fill off that stack. So, just to make sure, let's rearrange all of the stuff so we just have it in one spot.
Power low.
Oh, I don't know what. Oh no. Okay, nobody light a match, please. I just released a whole bunch of volatiles in the air. Of course, if we did light a match, it wouldn't matter because there was no oxygen. You need oxygen or some oxidizer to start a flame. Okay, so 210, and we have the 70. Let's start with the volatiles, and we should be able to reach this button here. Nope. Of course not. Poor design. And some of it's going out into that pipe. That's why I put extra in. And now let's get the oxide in there. I'm going to rearrange so that I can get on this side and load them in quicker after I push the button. And I'll go around as soon as we get all this stuff loaded in and show you the panel in the front to show you the mix. There we go. Let's pan around here. You can see. Looking in the window, it tells us we have 210 iron, 70 hydrocarbon, and that will produce 280 steel. Pull the lever to eject the ingot, and we'll just put that over here for now, and then we're going to do some more smelting of more of this stuff. Make use of that heat while we have it. 1.7, that's pretty good. And then fortunately, when we're done here, we can also just send it through to the Stirling engine and get power. And here I forgot to turn on to open the ingot mold. There we go. So now I can just put them straight in there. Oh, I should really do that silicon. I think we'll still have temperature for that. I think I had another stack 2 stacks of silicon, okay. Sorry if this isn't exactly riveting content. Let's see, I think I'll save the rest of that iron just in case. Just in case I find some more coal. Okay. Now we'll just leave that all there for somebody else's to clean up. And by somebody, I mean offline us. And of course I stole the battery from the Atmos analyzer. Or rather from the tablet. Alright, so there's still a little bit of volatiles in there. I want to try and burn up as much of that as I can. We should be able to just add some oxide into the furnace and it should trickle into that pipe. We do have to hurry a little bit here because things are cooling down. And that means that the Stirling engine is going to be less efficient. So I'm going to just peek my head in through the wall. 2.75 and going up even kilowatts. Very nice. I think, let me check to make sure I have my air conditioner on. I don't, so let's turn that on. Let's go ahead and open it up and come in here. Oh, very, very cold. Nice. We don't wanna stay in here very long though, because the cold is not good for us. It is draining a lot of our oxygen into the waste canister and draining our power. So yeah, 1.2 kilowatts, still going down. It's unfortunate, but unsurprising. Okay, now let's actually start charging up some of our batteries. That's abysmal. Okay, next thing on the agenda, let's make an electronics printer. We need iron. Got just enough copper. Let's go ahead and load a bit more copper in there, just for future use. Well, while that is printing, let's go ahead and go over some of the basics of the printers here. I'm going to turn off my light to preserve power, but we have an interface to kind of see. So the auto lathe is for many of the basic goods. Yeah, coffee mugs and empty cans. Not exactly what I meant, but things such as frames, iron and the steel. You've got walls. Let's see, beds, chairs. So things like furniture. There's some storage solutions. This is where we can create the container mounts that I locked down the crates, and yeah, here's the crates as well. Container mounts are to lock down crates for storms, or just so you don't have them, floating about. There's a few varieties of doors. I think one of them is locked behind a higher tier machine, though, the higher level of the auto lathe. So you've got your regular doors. There's also the interior doors. The interior doors do not hold pressure. They're designed to, create different rooms, but not to actually block gas. So a few varieties of walls, floor grading, which also isn't airtight. The other printers are all printed here. I think all of them. Lockers. That's one that I'm gonna actually highlight. Oh, darn it, we ran out of power while printing the electronics printer. That's fantastic. Well, okay, let's let it print a couple lockers because we really need those. Okay, so yeah, rocket manufactory. That one, it's gonna be a while before we get into that. Security printer. The security printer isn't really used much right now. Um, I think I think they have to kind of redo that one. All right, and then the basic sheets for your various needs. Okay, we'll let it print one more of those, and then we'll try to start the electronics printer again. And you can use a filter um, if you know the name. There we go. And cancel the locker. Grab these, and let me
Oxygen low.
find another battery that I can snag from somewhere, hopefully,
Oxygen critical.
before we suffocate, preferably. Um, damn. Let's just go in here for a sec. Doors closed, cancel pressurize, open my helmet, switch that off for a sec so we can focus. Take my suit off as long as I'm in here, and yeah, I apologize for the darkness. Top off my water and food. Alright, that's already charged up. Hopefully we still have enough power out there to finish the electronics printer. Set that there for later. Okay, yeah, we still have a yellow battery. Or, yeah, yellow battery. Let's check the gas in this pipe here. I'm going to close it off and then kind of watch this one, the temperature on this side. Oh yeah, we're getting liquid pollutants. Um, Pollutants is one that's going to pressurize or liquefy a lot. What happens is that once it gets to a certain pressure, it lowers um, the condensation point of a gas. And pollutants is one that has a very um, high potential, high temperature for um, turning into liquid at higher gases or higher pressures. Okay, still good there, and we got it. Excellent. Okay. Can I turn my light back on? Yeah, good enough for now. Okay, since we went over the auto lathe, let's go over quick the hydraulic pipe bender. This one deals with a lot of gas equipment. I already showed you a few um, things such as uh, gas mixer, um, liquid liquid piping, regular piping, insulated pipes. We're going to want to get a lot of insulation on that Stirling engine setup. Fortunately, something they introduced not long ago is adhesive insulation. So let's grab our steel. There it is. So we're going to load that up and load silicon. And I'm going to try and make a couple stacks of that. Okay. So yeah, hydraulic pipe bender, mostly working with gases and the like. And I'll set this up quick Um, and I see I'm getting a little high on time, so probably going to end it soon here. But I at least want to get the electronics printer to set up so I can start utilizing it.
Power low.
Let's grab some of the insulation so it doesn't fly all over. I will be building a stacker eventually here, but for now I'm just going to deal with the magic flying objects. Okay, so electronics printer surprisingly has a lot of electronics. You have things such as logic uh, units, which we'll probably get into. I'm going to set up some solar panels eventually. Speaking of, let me highlight those. Solar panel. We're going to go with this one. This one isn't resistant to storms, so you don't necessarily want to use it on Mars or Europa, etc. Uh, but since we don't have an atmosphere on this planet, we don't have storms, so I can definitely utilize those. It won't be very good here on Mimas, but at this point, it'll help me keep the pace of the streams up because I'm not going to have to worry about power quite as much. And I'll find the random bits of this. Oh, there we go. I wanted to print 40 of them. And that is job done. Okay, I'll do some cleaning up and we will pick it up next episode. Have a good one.